Once you've found the image that you'd like to have laser engraved onto your design, what you're going to do is you're going to go on the image, you'll right click, and you go Save Image As. Preferably this is going to be a JPEG or JPG. And so I'm going to call this something that I can save and know what it is. So I'm going to call this one Waimea. I always save mine to downloads because it's nice and easy to find later on. So I'll go Save. Cool, it's now downloaded. Now I'm going to go to Inkscape and open that. For you guys to open Inkscape, you'll go to the search bar here and you'll type in Inkscape and that will open it. So that's INKSCAPE. Now I've got Inkscape open. This will open up very much the same for you. I'm going to change the size of my document to the same as the size of my piece of wood. So File, Document Properties. The size of my document here is probably, size of my piece of wood is going to be 300 millimeters wide, 150 high. Enter. And so now it's ready to go. So next thing I want to do is I'm going to import my image. So I'm going to go File, Import, and there's Waimea JPEG sitting in my downloads. And I'm just going to go OK. And look, whoa, that's way too big for my piece of wood. If I hit, if you see I can stretch it and shrink it round, and that doesn't work so well. So I'll undo that one there, Control Z. If I hit Control while I drag it down, it keeps it all in proportion. Cool, I'm going to place mine round about in the middle of my piece of wood. And from here, if I zoom in, next thing I want to do is I want to trace that image so it's going to be usable for the laser cutter. So I'm going to go Path, I'm going to go Trace Bitmap, and usually I should just be able to go OK, and that'll be fine. So cross that out. This is the non-trace one. That was the back one. This is the tracing one. You usually be able to tell the difference quite easily. So next thing you'll do is you go Path, Object, and you'll go Fill and Stroke. And I want the fill to have no fill, which makes my design disappear. Then I'm going to go Stroke and turn Stroke on. And I'm going to turn Stroke on to all the way to red. Make sure it goes all the way to 255, otherwise it won't work. And that's going to get me a now usable document. All I have to do now is I'm going to go File, Save. And again, I'm going to save mine in my downloads, so it's easy to find again. So we go here, Downloads, and you can just, the default is Drawing SVG. And let's go Save, probably replacing it. Yep. So one other thing you've got left to do is you want to find K40 Whisperer. So for you guys to find that, you'll go to the search bar and type in K40. This is the software that drives our laser cutter. So open design file, that was now downloads, Waimea SVG. It might take a minute or two or maybe not even a minute, it might take you 30 seconds to open. You just have to be a little bit patient. Cool, and that's the design now ready to go for our laser engraver. Now, once I've plugged the laser cutter in, I'll plug it in and make sure the laser cutter is on and make sure the focus height is set. I'll plug it in and I'll click Initialize Laser Cutter. You'll hear the laser cutter go clonk. The next thing I want to do after that is I want to make sure that my laser cutter is engraving in the middle of my design. Not sure if this will work without it being plugged in, but we'll see. So it's not going to do that. Oh, no, it has. So that's going to go in the middle of my piece of wood. So the cutting head would move across the middle of my piece of wood if this is plugged into the laser cutter. And if your piece of wood is a little bit tricky and you can't see exactly where it's the center of it is, just draw a little cross in the middle of where you want it to aim up for. I'd recommend when you're setting up your vector cut here, because you want to go, it can go pretty fast, probably anywhere up to 40 millimeters a second is safe. So I could change that here into 40. And we've already initialized it. It's already ready to go. I'll literally click on this little bit here next to vector cut and your design will be done. The design as complex as this might take 2 or 3 minutes, but it's definitely worth it.